Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Riata Horsemanship. I'm Luke Brown. I'm very excited to be with you here today on Motivational Monday. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. It was Father's Day weekend this past weekend. I hope all of you who are male influences in somebody's life, which basically is every single male in the world, I hope that you were able to feel like you were important to somebody and that somebody helped you feel important. And what a wonderful day, Father's Day. Well, how important are fathers in the lives of children, the lives of others. They're certainly very, very important. In fact, like I have a brother who doesn't have children, and he's a wonderful uncle to my kids and to my nieces and nephews. He just is a great example to them. He sends them birthday cards every year and never forgets their birthdays. And he's a great example to them. And I hope you had a wonderful Father's Day. I certainly did. I was able to spend time with my family. My daughter, who's 14, who's not with me right now, she's in Utah, and I got to call her and talk to her, and got a letter from her, a handwritten letter with pictures and beautiful words written on it, on that card, and got to talk to my parents. And we also went with my family, my immediate family, Stacy and our kids, or a child that was with us. We went to some other friend's house and had a pool party and had a barbecue and just had a wonderful time celebrating Father's Day. And I hope that you were able to celebrate Father's Day and have a wonderful day yesterday. And today for Motivational Monday, the horse that I'm riding is Moon. This is about a 10-year-old paint mare that came to me with some pretty significant issues. She was purchased out of a rescue. I guess somebody rescued her from a kill facility, and then they apparently rode her some, and then she was purchased. And then the people that purchased her, took her home, and then she bucked him off a few times, and she's just a very, very reactive horse. And to be honest, she's one of the more reactive horses that I've worked with in quite a while, and it's just really challenging to get her to be calm and be collected and not to overreact to things. And I'm loping her in the round pen, but this is the start of the 4th week, and she is coming along, but it's very, very slow. And we just have to remember that every horse's experiences are different, and every horse's nature is different. And so you have to take those two into account: a horse's environment, what the horse has experienced in his or her life, and also the horse's nature, what their genetics are that determine where that horse is at any given point. And she came to me being very, very reactive. She'd bolt through gates. She's very reactive to me. Anytime I'd raise my hand, she would just overreact and jump and bolt, and just real hard to get her to calm down to any kind of cues on the ground and also under saddle. But we're starting to get there. She's loping in the round pen, but as you can see, that's all we've been in the round pen though for 3 weeks, and we haven't. Maybe tomorrow or the next day we'll get out into the arena, but she's certainly in this first month probably not going to get outside the round pen. Outside the arena into any kind of rural or urban trail. So if she's going to be kept for a riding horse, she certainly is going to need some more training. And that's just one of the things that we can't predict. It's hard to predict whether a horse how long it's going to take for a horse to get to where they need to be. And part of that depends on the skill set of the owners, and part of that depends on the nature and the environment of the horse. And so with her, it's going to take longer than a month, but we'll see where we go at the end of this week. And today for Motivational Monday, I've been reading a book, or actually read an entire book this morning. It's relatively short when I speed it up 1.5 times, and it is The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. The Magic of Thinking Big by David Schwartz. And what a great book. If you haven't read that book, go out and get it, download it to Audible, or go out and get it in paperback. It's a really, really good book to help create the mindset that we have to think bigger than we do. We have to think bigger about what we can accomplish, who we are. We have to believe in ourselves and not use self-deprecating talk. And one of the things that he talks about is fear, and how fear is a great limiting factor to our success. And I kind of created this quote on my own, something like this: that fear is the greatest detrimental emotion to success that one can have. And the only way to overcome fear is by taking massive action. Let me say that again. Fear is the greatest detrimental emotion to success that one can have. And the only way to overcome that fear is by taking massive action. And what does that mean, to take massive action? It means to do something you feel uncomfortable doing. You know, I was, and the fear will go away, and it usually goes away very quickly. One of the things that came to mind when I've been talking about this is back when I was in high school, way back in the 1990s. My brothers and I and some of our friends, we used to go down to a lake called Navajo Lake, and we used to jump off of this cliff. And there are a lot of different levels of the cliffs. One level was 15 or 20 feet high, and then it built up from there. It went to like a 25, a 30, a 35 foot, and then all the way to a 50 foot. And when the lake was lower, it was even higher than that, probably 60, 65 feet. Well, at this particular point in time, I was at a level of about 35 feet at the top of this cliff, and everybody else, my brothers, my friends, they jump off of that no problem. But if anybody knows me really well, they know that I have a fear of heights. I love the mountains. I love riding horseback in the mountains, but there are times when it really scares me how high I am up there. And if I'm standing at the edge of the cliff, I am not comfortable, to say the least. And so I would stand at the edge of that cliff waiting to jump off, and all my waiting did was increase the fear. The fear mounted and built until I was completely paralyzed and could not jump off of that cliff. And I had to reset my mind multiple times until at one point, the only thing that got me to jump is everybody was going home, and they packed up and they were walking out, and I still was standing there trying to jump off this cliff. I had jumped off of shorter cliffs, but I hadn't jumped off the 35 foot. And for some of you, 35 feet might seem like a piece of cake, but for somebody who's deathly afraid of heights, it was a huge challenge, and the fear was insurmountable at that time. It wasn't until I finally took that massive action and just stepped and jumped that I was able to overcome that fear. And after I did that, I jumped, and it was scary falling, and then I hit the water, but I was safe. I climbed back up and I jumped right back off a couple more times just to make sure I had it. And but that fear mostly went away. And that's what happens when we take massive action, whether it be if you're a salesperson and you need to make phone calls, or you're a horse trainer and you got to get on some horse. You just have to take massive action, be bold, be confident, get on that horse, or make those phone calls, whatever it is. If you have a long lost loved one that you need to talk to and you've been afraid to do that, or if you have an issue you need to address, an interpersonal issue you need to address to correct a relationship that's been in harm, it takes massive action. It takes making that phone call. It takes saying, I'm sorry. And we all, I'm not saying I'm perfect at taking massive action. I'm saying that the more massive action we take when we're afraid, the more we start to overcome that fear, and the more success we'll have. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Until next time, be thankful, live with purpose, live with passion, and as always, stay safe in the saddle.